to either the Steelers need to fold, because you know where his position is. He's made it very clear. The Steelers either need to fold and give him a contract that he wants, renegotiate, restructure it, or they need to trade him. Because I think the Steelers, they're what, 1-2-1 right now? 1-2-1? Like, you're the Steelers. You should be in control of this division. But it's the Ravens. The Ravens are in the driver's seat right now. But Baltimore and the Jaguars will be in the AFC Championship. That's my prediction. Whew, that would be a good one. But, I mean, and also, too, shout out to the Ravens. Joe Flacco, I'm telling you, the best thing for Joe Flacco is sometimes you need a little motivation. Sometimes in life you get a little too comfortable in your position. And with them drafting Lamar Jackson, it really woke Joe Flacco up. Like, I need to step it up, because if I'm on a very short leash, even though they're like, oh, it's not really a short leash. If he started stinking up the place, you know they're going to start calling for Lamar. Because Lamar, he's the young, new, shiny toy. What about the Bucs? The Bucs, I don't really know how Jameis... I don't really know how James is going to do once he gets back. And now that the Fitz magic has worn off, I'm wondering how the rest of the team is going to respond. So I'm not going to write the Bucs off, but I'm not going to say, like, oh, they're just a surefire to continue what they were doing. All right. And rounding it out, Monday Night Football. Dun-dun-dun, dun-dun-dun. Patrick Mahomes, the hottest young QB in the game. Has 14 touchdowns now, no interceptions. Almost got a couple interceptions, but, defenders they can't catch. Beat the Broncos. This was actually going to be a good challenge, because I wanted to see how he would do against a good defense, a defense that could, rush him and apply some pressure. And I thought he stood his ground. Was it perfect? Was it beautiful? No. But he stood his ground. And the fact that he overcame a 10-point deficit in the fourth, that speaks volumes. Mahomes, like, I am about 92% on he's the real deal. And after I see this Jacksonville game on Sunday, then I will be able to say, yes, Mahomes Mania is in full effect. If they start making shirts called Mahomes Mania, I want a 10% cut. I'm just putting that out there. But I like Mahomes a lot. And even though Denver didn't win this game, I still like what I'm seeing from Denver. They are still rebuilding. Case Keenum, I feel like he's kind of a glorified manager at this point. I am not seeing the Case that I saw in Minnesota last year. So I'm not really sure what Case is going to give me. But the defense is coming along. I really like Von Miller, and having Bradley Chubb there to complement him and to free up some of the rushes that Von can get now. I like that a lot. So I'm keeping my eye on Denver, but to me the Chiefs are in full control of the AFC West. Mahomes may be on fire, but it's not going to last. Well, that's the thing, everybody is on fire until people get tape on them, or until they come against a matchup where you figure out, okay, this is how he struggles. Okay, if you rush him, he might try to force a throw and will turn it away. So it just depends. How will Winston pan out for Tampa? Well, they picked up his fifth-year option, and Jameis, the thing with Jameis to me is Jameis has all the qualities to be a great quarterback. Like, he possesses good leadership, but sometimes when you try to be a leader and you don't let it come naturally and you're trying to force yourself into a role before you're really ready, I think that is Jameis's biggest problem. He wants to be a leader, but sometimes he's trying to force it rather than just being who he is and then letting the maturity happen organically. Well, that's my takes on the games. I wanted to know if you guys have any questions, any thoughts. What are your thoughts to the first quarter of football? People say, like, the NFL season is so slow. It really be going by fast. I mean, just think. Teams are already on their byes. The second straight year Chiefs went 4-0. I think the Vikings bounce back this week. Don't they play the Eagles? They need to. And I think they play at Philadelphia, if I'm correct. They need to because they got, offensively, they did okay. Defensively, they got burned. And if I'm every offensive coordinator, I'm going to go back to that same game plan of like, okay, let me force the linebackers to pull off and have to cover. And yes, as much as the Vikings defense got burned, part of it too was you got to give good credit to the offensive coordinator and coming up with great mismatches, because there's no like a linebacker cannot cover a receiver. Like there's just no way. Like they're just not built for that. Redskins coming out of the East. I like the Redskins. Let me see. Who else? Philly's kind of struggling. Cowboys are struggling. Giants, no. Redskins really could be in the mix to come out the East. I do not put that past them. And I really like Alex Smith at the Redskins. Just saying. You know what I'm saying? Just saying. Let me see. Go through some of these questions on here. How's everybody's day going? Mind you, I want you guys to know how much I love you. I'm really outside to get this good natural lighting, but my legs are getting bit up from head to toe, but that's just how much I love y'all. I'm taking this one for the team. Big test for the Redskins against the Saints on Monday night. If Washington gets the win, look out. Well, this is another thing too. And he's not going to say this, but I am sure Adrian Peterson, even though he was with the Saints for a small amount of time, like you always want to beat your old squad or a squad that overlooked you or that didn't truly value. So I would expect, and also too, you want to play hard for guys like that. Like when, let me see. Like when Peyton went back to Indy, those guys want to rally around him because they know it's such a big game for him. Let me see. How many touchdowns will Josh Gordon finish the season with? Well, I need to see how they're really planning to utilize him before I can really accurately make that assessment. Let's see. Hot takes. Jags going to Kansas City this Sunday and win by 20. Now that is a hot take. Don't get me wrong. I like the Jags and all, but I don't think they're beating them by 20. Will you get a second interview with Adrian Peterson post Saints game? Of course. It's just going to depend on AP's schedule, but don't worry. It's great to start off your season interviewing Adrian Peterson, not gonna lie. But I have some other good stuff in the works for y'all, so don't you worry. Let's see. Now my back is getting bit up. The struggle is real. Let me see. Favre back to Green Bay, same situation. See? Exactly. Drew Brees would be considered the best of all time if he had more rings. He's so underrated. If Drew had as many rings as Tom Brady, probably. Adrian Peterson is such an awesome running back. Just think he could have not been signed if it wasn't for guys going down. Exactly. Do you think Ingram will put up good numbers against the Redskins defense? He's just coming off his four-game suspension. I feel like he's going to have a solid game because, well, it also depends on the Saints' game plan. Because the Saints are the kind of team where they don't necessarily just hand it to one back like 30 times a game. So he's going to get his reps, and Kamara is playing excellent. So I don't know that he's going to get a ton of reps. Like he's probably going to split the reps with Kamara, but I don't think they'll overdo it because also too he hasn't been back, so they don't want him to risk injury. How likely do you think the Cowboys will re-sign Dez? This is the thing. if Dez didn't, well, Dez said what he said, but if Sean Lee and company didn't come out and say what they said, I just don't know how you go back into that locker room after all of that took place. Now, Jerry, I'm sure Jerry would love to pick Dez back up, but I feel like Dez kind of disrespected Jason Witten on the way out because he felt disrespected. So how do you go back into that situation? I know it's business and it's not personal, but I just don't see enough people that have a weighted say in the Cowboys, what they do, that would sign off on Dez coming back. If it was up to Jerry, absolutely. Do you think the Saints D will step up from here on out? It's tough because sometimes I feel like the defense, they play up and down to who they're playing. They play up and down to the competition. Who do you think is the best running back in the league? That's a good question. You know, obviously Todd. Okay, I'll put my people that are up there. Obviously Todd Gurley is up there. I really like Kamara. He's good. I'm just trying to think of like backs that come to mind right now. The thing is with this is another thing I want to say. And this is, I'm probably going to do another take on this and just post it later. But I was really thinking about this with the whole Le'Veon Bell situation. And the way that Le'Veon plays, it's very, the way Pittsburgh blocks is very complimentary to how he plays. So there's no guarantee. Say he goes to another situation and they don't have a good line that can't really create these holes and he can't really sit back there and be patient. What happens when that happens essentially? And his production, I'm not wishing his production goes down, but realistically, if you go into a situation and they don't have a good line and you've been so effective one way and now you no longer can do that, people are going to say he's a product of Pittsburgh's line, because that's what a lot of people said about Zeke, because, you had DeMarco Murray rushing out of his mind. You had other guys having great numbers behind that line. So that is my only real concern with Le'Veon in this whole situation. Zeke, oh yeah, Zeke's up there. The only thing is, though, like, Zeke is eating right now, but even this year and last year with everything going on, I haven't seen Zeke eat the way I saw him eat, like when he would hit the hole his rookie season. And I'm just looking forward to that because I really do like Zeke a lot. So I want to see him return to dominance. All right, final couple questions, and then your girl is going to go inside because I'm getting bit up. Ooh, good lighting. Okay. Let's see. Hunt. Oh, yeah. Yeah, Kareem Hunt. He's balling. The cheetah. All right, let me see. Personally, I don't think Pittsburgh's line is that great, though. You don't really see Connor making any explosive plays, though he doesn't get as many touches. True. Who is the greatest QB of all time, not putting rings in perspective? I still gotta go with Brady. Because, like, as great as Drew Brees is, I think about it like this. If the game is on the line and I need somebody to go out there and win it for me, who am I picturing winning the game for me? And I just see a beautiful 12 and the hair in the wind. It's Tom Brady. Why doesn't McCaffrey get respect? Because they don't utilize him well enough to get respect. Boom. Hot take. Should Eli retire for the sake of New York? No, Eli should keep collecting his coins as long as he can, or until they force him out. I'm not retiring for the sake of the city. I probably would have some respect for myself, but I'd still be out there collecting my coins. How do you feel about Brady's performance this year? I mean, it's been a little average, but Tom Brady is like LeBron. Like LeBron in the regular season, I could care less what LeBron does in the regular season. He makes his bread and butter, and he makes a name for himself in the playoffs. So I don't really care what Brady or as long as the Patriots get into the playoffs, they don't even need to be a top seed in my mind. As long as they get into the playoffs, then the rest doesn't really matter. When are you joining FS1? Well, maybe, hopefully soon. We're going to speak that into existence. 28-3, always remember that. I remember, you guys, if you don't watch Gridiron Heights, you should watch that. It's kind of like Game of Zones, but the football version. And I watched this episode that Martellus Bennett did, and he was like, I overcame a 28-3 deficit. I'm not going out like that. And then it was a really funny clip. I liked it. I posted on my page, and then it's on Bleacher Report and then Gridiron Heights. So check it out. It was really funny. Eli is not the problem. But Eli, as much as I do like Eli benefits from the fact that he has 2 Super Bowls to his name. Because if he didn't have 2 Super Bowls, that's the only reason, New York doesn't completely trash Eli. But if Eli was anybody else and had no rings, he would not be that respected. Okay, you guys, ask me one more great question, and then I'm going to sign off. Do 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 do. Dang, y'all need to get it together. Let's see. How old are you? Jordan, who's the best corner right now? Ooh, well, I feel like I'm best corner. Everybody knows what I'm going to say, Jalen Ramsey. But do you think that the Chiefs will keep it up or tank like last year? This is a different Chiefs team. This is a Patrick Mahomes, sling the ball, go deep, go wherever. I can't compare them to the Chiefs of the past, but I'm telling you, I'm going to find out everything I need to know from this Jaguar-Chiefs game. That's going to tell me everything I need to know about the rest of the NFL season. Ooh, let's ask the real question. Good Morning Football or First Take? Ooh. Actually, if you guys want to know, I'll be straight up, the sports shows that I frequently watch. Every Day, probably Undisputed. First Take, I used to watch First Take when Skip and Stephen A were together, but when Skip left, I started watching, I watched both for a little bit, but I liked, personally, just me speaking, I like Skip and Shannon's chemistry better than I like Stephen A and Max's. So, and that's no shade to them, that's just a personal preference, but I like them. I like The Herd. Shout out to The Herd. Joy Taylor. Joy killing it on The Herd. What else? I really like Game Day Prime. I like, they added Shannon Sharp this season and Clarissa Thompson. And still LT and Dion. I keep my TV on NFL Network all day. But Skip. How is your knowledge on Michael Jordan? Well, he's the GOAT. He's the GOAT. Shannon is like Uncle Shay. And he was so nice. I'm not gonna lie, he was really nice in person. I was like, hi, I'm Ashley. He said, hi, I'm Shannon. He was super nice. Chiefs are going to end this season with a Pro Bowl quarterback, Pro Bowl running back, Pro Bowl tight end, Pro Bowl wide receiver. I don't see them tanking with that combination on offense. Michael Thomas, top 3 wide receiver. Nah, I can't go that far yet. Who's your basketball squad? So, I used to be a Clipper fan, And then I got on the Golden State bandwagon, and now I'm a free agent. Shoot, I'm probably gonna be like, I like the Lakers and I want to see what they're gonna do with LeBron, but I wouldn't say I'm a Laker. Like, I'm heavily jumping on the Laker bandwagon. I'm like the rest of America. I just want to see what's gonna happen. Is a wife. Thank you. But let me see. Who's your top 5 NBA players all time? Ooh, that's a good one. Anthony Kardashian Jenner. You know what I wonder? This is totally unrelated to sports and everything, but some of these pages that have, like, these Kardashian fan pages and these sports fan pages, like, they really be like, the Kardashians and like sports people, they make other people so much money because the money people are spending to advertise on their pages, like, how, it's not even Kardashian run, and these pages have like 500,000 followers. That's ridiculous. Stills is a very underrated wide receiver. Shout out to Kenny Stills. LCC, San Diego, baby. Stills is, and I even like Stills, you know, back when he was with the Saints. So he's doing good. But, I mean, Stills, you gotta look at it, too. For when, I think he's been in Miami maybe 2-3 years now. And so, in his time in Miami, he was, you know, there with Jarvis. And Jarvis draws so much attention. So, I feel like now with Jarvis out in Cleveland, it's giving him more exposure. Gordon gonna ball out. I hope so. But if it was me, personally, and again, I'm glad that he's getting another chance, but it kind of makes me sad sometimes when you have certain guys who are on their 15th, 16th, 17th chance. And then there's other guys who, like, they just work their butt off. But for whatever reason, like, the cards just don't fall their way. And it's life, and it's not fair, and life isn't fair, but it's still kind of sad. She loves Drake. I do love some Drake. You're a mix between Alessia Cara and Sanaya Lathan. Oh, okay. One more hot take. Who's your top rappers all time? Ooh. Khalil Mack, Defensive Player of the Year. Yes, I am very high on Khalil Mack. To be honest, if Khalil Mack, answer this, if Khalil Mack was not on the Bears, are we talking about the Bears? Even if, say, they were, what are the Bears? Are they 3-1 or 2-2? There might be 3-1. If they're not on there, are we talking about the Bears? No. You favor Zach LaVine's sister. I don't know if, like, being compared to others. No, it's okay. Honestly, this is who I get. You know who I get all the time? I'd be in the store. You know who you look like? Who? You look like Ayesha Curry. I was like, shoot, Ayesha cute. I said, Ayesha, if you need a stunt double to the game, if you want to go be at home with Riley and the kids, just call me, girl. Who's winning Rookie of the Year? Well, shoot, right now, offensively, Calvin Ridley is balling. And defensively, that's a good question. Cam, the greatest QB of all time, don't at me. Okay, well, I'm getting bidden up officially. Love you guys. Thank you for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed. Aisha's pretty. I think everybody looks different, but thank you so much. Thank you for joining in. That's it for this week's edition of Ashley's Hot Takes. I'm really getting bidden up. But I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know if you liked the IG Live versus the regular takes, and maybe we'll do more. I actually am going to do more IG Lives, though. Just probably more game previews, different stuff like that. Okay? I'm getting bidden up. Love you guys. Bye.